Hi friends, in this video I am going to cover the remaining part of Oracle database architecture, because in the first Oracle database architecture video I have covered most of the thing, but still there are few things that has not covered in detail for Oracle database architecture, since this topic is really very important for every beginner who wanted to build their career as a database administrator. So basic as a basic entry level question, most of the question will come from this topic only. So understanding each and every component and each and every function of every component in the architecture, it's really matters lot, because as per your understanding you will able to grow forward easily. And also, like, if you go for interview, your most if you are in your starting of your career, like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year of Oracle database career as L1 resource, so in those time period, this particular topic, Oracle database architecture, will play a very important and major role for your career, because once you have a very strong grip on this, you can answer most of the question related to the database architecture. And even for other question also, if you have a clear understanding, you will able to visualize those questions on the basis of database function, that how the database functions on the architecture level, and you will able to answer those questions easily. So in this I'll be just going in a review manner, where I'll be explaining architecture and component a little bit, and then the database instance, how it creates a session, and then the next is physical structure of a data file, and the memory component structure, and SGA area and PG area I'll be covering into this. As we know, Oracle database is a combination of Oracle instance and Oracle database file. So Oracle database includes several different files like data file, control file, redo log file, and archive redo log file, and also it access the parameter file and password file. So this set of files has several purposes. One is to enable a system user to process a SQL statement, because once you have a understanding that how SQL statement process, you will have a good understanding about the database. Then only you will able to visualize each and every component, that how it moves any SQL statement when it get fired on a database. So the next is another to improve the database system performance. Like, if you have understanding of each component, you will able to understand that from where we need to focus to improve our system performance. And the database so the database must manage large amount of data in a multiple user environment. The server must manage a concurrent access of same data, and the server must deliver a high performance. This generally means of response time. Yeah, high performance is generally means of the database IO and memory utilization. If the memory is high and IO utilization is high, it means there is some performance issues going on with the database. So for understanding that, we have to go with every component on the database. So Oracle instance, as we know, it's a combination of all the background processes and the SGA component. So the whole set of once it starts functioning, it considered as an instance. And one more important thing is, like, one database can run on multiple instance. This particular point we have to keep it in mind, because this particular point people ask in a interview, like, on one instance how many database you can run. So you should always keep in mind, like, on one instance you can run one database, but the same database you can run on multiple instance, but on a same instance you cannot run multiple database. So this we have to keep in mind as a very important point. So there are some mandatory background process like pmon, smon that I have already covered in the previous video. Pmon, smon, reco, db writer, log writer, check pointer. So these are the background process, these are mandatory one. So there are some optional one, but yes, we have to understand the working feature of each and every one. And the next is Oracle database. Oracle database, as we know, like it is a physical part of database where it will be having data file, control file, read log file. So sometimes they are referred as a operating system, but they are database file that stores the data database information that as the firm and the organization need to operate. So read log files used for recovery purpose, and whenever the instance fail or crash, that time it's used for recovery purpose. The archive read log files are used to recover the database of a disk failure, otherwise file. As you will see the same thing on the different architecture. And the parameter file is that is used to specify the parameter for configuring the Oracle instance when it is starting. So parameter file is nothing but it's a any .ora file, Pfile or Spfile. That also will be covering more in detail, because the parameter files are basically responsible for allocating the SGA component, like memory component. It will get allocated, like all the parameter related things are getting it's declared into parameter file like p file. So from there, when the database get started, it reads each and every defined values and parameter, and on that basis it creates the SGA. So the next is password file. Now, this is the optional password file authentication. Special user of the database. These are the terms: privileged user and includes the database administrator. Alert and trace file. These files stores the information about the error and action taken that efforts the configuration of the database. Like if something went wrong on the database, that time your alert file and trace file will help you to understand what's going on your database. Like whenever anything happen on a database, that time you have to first log into your database, go to your alert log location and check the alert log, the recent alert log with the latest timing, and see what error is it's reported over there. Like it writes the every information about the database error and action taken on the database, that will be stored into the alert log. From there, once you have a good understanding on the database, you will come to know what's exactly going on the database, and you will able to understand what needs to be done on the basis of that error. Once you see that error, if you are able to understand by own, then it's really good. Otherwise you can the Ora error, which is whatever the error will be shown in that alert log, from there you have to copy that error and Google it. You will come to know what's the solution for that error, and that's the most generic way to work on those issue. And if you are not, then you can check with your colleagues also, whoever is working in your team. So that's the one thing. And the user process and server process, you can see user process is user process is basically there on the client machine, and server process will be there on the server machine. So server process are basically two type. One is shared server and another is dedicated server process. So shared server process can share a memory and variable processes for multiple user process. Like multiple user process will connect to the shared server process, shared server directly. And in dedicated server process, it manages memory and variable for a single user process. It doesn't manage multiple connections for multiple user processes. So Yes, in the below diagram also you can see it's explained. It's a standard diagram that you will get it in Oracle documents also. Like this is the whole thing which comes under instance. In that you can see SGA have library cache, dictionary cache, and a large pool, Java pool, stream pool, and these are the background processes you can see. And the PGA, program global area, and parallelly you can see here server process. So whatever the connections are coming, it's coming through, because in this diagram it's not clear, so I'll be showing you in different diagram, the below one, that how the connection is getting established. So these are the DB writer, log writer, and from client process this connection goes to server process. In between you can see listener will be there, and listener will have information about the port and host information of the database. On that basis this client process, like server user process, will connect to the server process. So in the next diagram you can understand these things in a detail, like connection to a Oracle instance, that how the connection is getting established. Like as a normal user, you wanted to connect the database from client machine, like database user, then the user process will create on a client machine, and that connection will go to the server process, and then server, that session will get established the Oracle server, like database. System user can connect to Oracle database with through SQL Plus or through application program like uh, internet DevOps suite. So these are the way you can connect to the Oracle database. And in that also you can see dedicated server person and large server person, that I have already explained. The session is basically when a user connect to Oracle server, this is termed as a session. And the user global area is a memory area. These memory structure are described in detail below. You can see here physical structure of a data file. As you can see here, the control file, read log file, and data file. So online read log file, data file, and control file in that it has header, and every SCN number will get updated to header of this data file and control file. So these are the physical files. You can see parameter file that I was talking about. In that init.ora file, it's a one of the basic static parameter file, and it is also called as Pfile. And the Spfile is also a parameter file, but it is in dynamic in nature, like whatever the changes you will perform in Pfile, since it's a static parameter file, your changes will not immediately, it will not modify the database. For that, for all the changes, it will get implemented once you do the database restart. After that only, whatever the changes you will perform in Pfile or init.ora file, that changes will reflect. Otherwise it will not reflect. But if you want to do the changes, then first of all you can create Spfile from Pfile, and then after creating Spfile, you can do the changes through alter statement, and that changes will happen dynamically, and that changes will get implemented immediately, because it's happening through alter statement. And during that time the database will up and running, and the changes will get modified, and that's the reason now people prefers most to choose Pfile to do the any changes on the database, because it doesn't require any downtime. So parameter file specify which special character user authenticated to start or stop the Oracle instance, archive read logs. So as we have discussed this part, in that automatic memory management, DBA specify the target size of instance memory, and the database instance automatically tune the target memory size. Like yes, in the lower version of database there you need to do the tuning or assigning those memory component by own, but in the latest version of database these things are getting tuned by own. You need to you no need to tune it by own. Database distribution memory as needed between the SDN instance, that also I'll be covering it. This memory mode is partially automated and DBA. So I think this much for this video, because I don't want to make this video so larger, because it will be difficult for others to wait that long. So fine, in the next video I'll be trying to cover the remaining part. So thanks for watching till here.